Hello, long time no see. I think it's been 6 months since my last video. Sorry about that. I had a lot happen in 2019 and I'd like to share that with you in this video today. So, 2019 was definitely the most eventful year of my entire life. The most has happened in 1 year than anything has ever happened. So, thankfully, a lot more good than bad, but the bad was bad. So, we'll start in the very beginning. So, I got married in April, and that was awesome. It was stressful planning a wedding, and we had just a little bitty backyard wedding. We actually had it at this house here and in the backyard. But it was awesome. It was perfect. And I wouldn't have changed a thing. And it's just funny when you're planning a wedding and then the wedding happens, you realize all those little nitpicky details and all those things that were so important, and this has to look this way and this has to be this way. Does not matter. Does not matter. You know, I decorated, my husband and I, we did 85% of the wedding ourselves, and to save money, and we came severely under budget. Not severely under budget, we were under budget. And that's what we wanted. That was more important to us. And it was more important to us to have a marriage and a future with a little bit of money left in the bank than just a big lavish wedding and then we're broke. So we focused on that. And what helped me a lot, even though we had a very small wedding, we had 50 people on the guest list. I think only like 30 showed up, so very small. But I think what helped us a lot, was naming priorities. So we each had 3 things that we listed that were priorities. And these 3 things didn't have to be the same 3 things for each of us. These 3 things meant I want these 3 things to be perfect. If everything else falls apart, these 3 things for the wedding need to be perfect. So, and that's exactly how it happened. Our priorities were met and the rest of it didn't matter. So, married in April. It's going awesome so far, like unbelievably awesome. And I've spent a good part of 2019, making house, getting this house into a home and just kind of navigating being married. So, awesome so far, like I said. So that happened, and after that, it kind of snowballed into me paying off my credit card debt. I have credit card debt. Sorry. Who am I apologizing to? I don't know. No one else cares but me. So that snowballed into that, and I'm a big Dave Ramsey fan, so I knew all about his program. So I started with baby step number 1, and I didn't make it a big deal. I just said, okay, I want to have $1,000 in savings in 3 months. And so I just set aside a certain dollar amount of my check to go into savings until there was $1,000. And that was several months ago, and since then I've kept that going. And so now there's substantially more than that in my savings, and it's awesome. I have also bumped up my credit card payments each month. I was already doing double the minimum payment, but now I've bumped it up to the next whole dollar amount. So if my credit card payment was like $85, I bumped it up to $100, that kind of thing. So I did that in addition to still saving. And financially and credit card debt payoff wise and saving wise, doing nice. I finally just quit making it such a big flipping deal and just said, okay, let's do this. Let's quit spending money and save some. Why not? Let's try it. So that's what I've been doing, and that's been going great too. So, what else? I have notes here, like 3 pages of notes, y'all. So, settle in. A lot happened. So, credit card debt. I'm married. Baby step number 1 is done in credit card debt. I touched on that. I bought, because we came so under budget with the wedding, I wanted a new sewing machine. And so I asked my husband if we can tweak the wedding stuff a little more and cut corners a little bit more. Can we squeeze out about $350 for me to get a fancy sewing machine? Because that's what I wanted. And he said, yeah, if you want to squeeze it out of the wedding budget, that's fine. So that's what I did. I squeezed stuff out of my wedding so that I could get a Singer Quantum Stylist 9960, I think it is. And it's awesome. And I'm probably going to say awesome a lot in this video. I didn't realize that. That's not really my go-to word. So maybe try to find another word. It's a sewing machine. And we upgraded our TV to a 55-inch. And I bought a TV stand to go with that. So we're kind of, still going along the lines of making the house into a home. I'm going to be printing out pictures and stuff to hang on the walls and stuff too. I haven't done that yet. I have one picture, and it's actually like just out of camera of us at the wedding, a wedding picture of us. And that's the only one I have printed out. So I printed out all the rest for everybody else, but then I was like, meh. So I'm going to do that. But that's not about 2019. So let's stay focused. All right. We bought a vintage 72 Volkswagen Beetle, yellow. And we love it. We're going to restore it and just putz around in it and take it on camping trips. And we're going to carry it behind us, pull it behind us. Can you tell I haven't done a video in a while? Pull it behind us in the camper that we also bought that is a 78 24-foot Robinhood. I call it a Class C, but I guess technically it's Class A. I consider a Class A like really, really big RVs, and this is just 24 foot. So whatever. It's a 24-foot 78 camper that we're also going to restore. And if you want to see videos of it and the Volkswagen Beetle, you can go to my husband's YouTube channel. He does all the Beetle and camper and vintage radios and all that kind of thing on his channel. So I'll link that down below for anybody that's interested in what the camper looks like and the Beetle and what he's done to it so far. So that's been really fun. The Beetle, they both run, so we putz around him now, and he piddles with them. And we do have a trip planned for April, which will be our anniversary, our first anniversary. But we're going to DC, so we're flying. But it's fun. Camping is our thing, and we both feel the same way about vintage and old stuff, and so it just was very easy to find what we were wanting. So when we got it for a really, really, really good deal. So again, more about that on my husband's channel. So what else? We took a cruise for the honeymoon, and we both had been on cruises before. I've been on several with my parents. But my husband had been on one before. And I mean, we love cruises. We knew we loved cruises. So that was an easy choice for a honeymoon. And it was great. Also he took me for my birthday back in June to Nashville, which is only like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from us. And we went to the Johnny Cash Museum. I'm a big Johnny Cash fan, so I love that. And we went to the Grand Ole Opry and saw Diamond Rio, and Ricky Skaggs was there. And it was great. I mean, I definitely want to go back and see more people. It was just an experience and just so right up our alley. I mean, with all the vintage and old stuff that we like, and I love old country, and he does too, and it just was the perfect place for us to be. So we did that. And we had decided months before we got married to try and start a family pretty quick. So I'll be 38 in June. So clock is kind of ticking. So we've kind of gotten started on trying for a baby as well. It has not been going well. We have hit some fertility issues. I don't know that I'll address those in detail. I mean, there's really nothing to tell, and our minds change all the time on the next step we should take and all of that kind of stuff. But right now, I am finishing up my third cycle of Clomid, the pill, ovulation boosting pill. So that's kind of where we are. When we got back from the honeymoon, I did not go back to work. And with the thought, because I was working retail before, and I was like, okay, I definitely need to do something else. I can just do better. So we decided after the honeymoon, we got back, I would look for a better job. So it took me 2.5 months to find a better job, which was stressful, very, very stressful. But I learned in that time, but then I found a fantastic job. A fantastic job. I mean, it's almost perfect. I hate to say it, but it almost is. It's a great job. So, and I really, really love it. But I learned in those 2.5 months of not working that time slips away from you during the day. I mean, and you know, we don't have kids yet, and so it's just the two of us. And my husband, okay, we're going to start using his name because this is going to get old. Brooks, that's his name. Brooks works third shift, so he sleeps during the day. So I mean, I can still sew and make noise in the house, but you know, time just really slips away from you when you don't work. And I'm a kind of a go-getter. I like to keep a clean house, and I like to cook dinner, and I like to do all the domestic stuff, and I like to sew and knit, and I didn't do any of that. I mean, I cleaned house and cooked dinners and stuff, but I didn't do any crafting in 2.5 months. I mean, I was here all day, every day for 2.5 months, and I do no crafting? None? I mean, really? And that just kind of irks me. It just irritates me that I let myself be so freaking lazy. I mean, I could have really, I did do some videos back in that time. I did do several, but not nearly as enough. I mean, 2.5 months every day. And I did nothing. I just kind of squandered it. So, well, this video is already 15 minutes long. This might be a part 1 and a part 2. So, but I did learn that I have to have a lot going on in order for me to be productive. If I don't have a lot going on, if I don't, work full time and have to keep up with the house and have other, social obligations, I won't get anything done. And I don't really understand that. I've always, now that I think about it, I've always been like that. But why? Why? So, but I did learn that in 2019. Okay. Next up. So that's all the good stuff. The bad stuff is, well, the trying for a baby and hitting fertility issues. That's been rough. And it's getting to the point now where, and we are our own worst enemy, because we both like to plan. And trying for a baby is, you can plan to a certain extent, but you can't plan at all. It just happens when it happens. And I don't have any, we've both been tested and stuff, so I don't have any, I have endometriosis, but it's a very mild form. So there's no real, big hindrance on us getting pregnant. So it's been rough. And now there's a girl at work that's pregnant, and she's 20 something and adorable, and it's hard. So that's one bad thing. And the big doozy of the bad thing that happened in 2019, wow, okay, that happened in 2019, is my mother died. Yes, my real mother. Lots of people asked me that. I thought that was super weird. Your real mother? Yes, my real mother. Oh, were your parents still together? Yes, my parents were still together, still married, still in my childhood home. No, she wasn't sick. And yes, it was very sudden. And yes, we were close. So that was the end of my 2019. That she passed away December 3rd. And that has been indescribable. Ooh, okay. I don't like crying in a YouTube video, so we need to rein it in a little bit. So that hasn't been hard. That's been a lot. So she was 67, and she and I were crafting buddies together. I got all of my crafting stuff from her, and we ran around and went to Joann's and bought fabric and bought beads and bought knitting stuff, and we talked about it all the time and went to craft shows and vended at craft shows with our handmade stuff, and we were very close. And so that's, I have 2 older brothers, so I'm not, at it alone, but it's not the same. I'm the only girl, and I'm very close to my dad too, so that's nice. But yeah, super hard. Especially, especially during the holidays. Yeah, that was rough. So, but every day gets a little bit more bearable, and luckily, because it was during the holidays, I was off work and stuff, so it helped a lot to be able to do that. I would have they don't take off anyway, but you know what I mean. So, that's kind of how my 2020 started, was losing my mother and learning to get back into the swing of things with that.